Fuck yeah, buds. Welcome back, everybody. This is the NFLA. You know these ugly mugs by now, but on the off chance you're new here, this fucking guy is Calvo. I'm your pal Brooksee, and we are your favorite American football loving Canadians. This is episode 18, and the NFL regular season is heading into the final week. Holy shit, buddy. We made it. But this also means fantasy football pools have reached their end. They've crowned their champions, and spoiler alert, it wasn't me in any of my six pools.
Well, some of us got a little closer to glory than others. I won one of mine. I've been running rampant on that league since it started last year. First in the regular season and champ in both years. So
Nice, dude.
my time is probably coming to an end there, but I'll enjoy it while it lasts.
Hey man, congrats. The only glory I think I'm getting this year is of the whole variety.
Are you on the giving end or receiving end of that glory hole? Actually, sorry, I'd like to remove that question from the record. I don't think I want to know.
Leading the witness, I guess. Yeah. Okay, I won't answer that. I will say though that in half my pools, I didn't even make the playoffs. So you do the
Oof.
math based on where I ended up in the standings. The phrase "Yule log" means something totally different to me now. Anyway, how was your Christmas, Calvo?
Why are you even fucking asking? You already know the answer to that question. But yes, like I said last week, lots to be thankful for.
Yeah,
First Christmas with the little guy. It was actually quite great, other than having to listen to my father-in-law chirp me about the Lions sucking on Christmas.
yeah.
I knew it was kind of inevitable. I already kind of prefaced myself that it wasn't going to be a win. Just season's over. Just get it done and over with.
Yeah.
But here we are. It's New Year's Eve. Lots of celebrations were planned. But I got a little sick and not really going so well. So Bralvonians, I'm sorry, my voice might be a little raspy, and I'm hauling on a lozenger here. So bear with me. Doing my best to power through this for it. But dude, how was your holidays?
Hey, it was you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I fucking hate Christmas. It's quickly become my least favorite holiday. I know I talked it up last episode a little bit, and it's nice to see family and everything, but all it is as an adult is stress and fucking guilt about, how much money you spend on. If you spend $100 on this niece, then you have to spend 100 on that nephew. Fuck it. You know what? I'm just gonna write a nice message in a card from now on, going in future years for you fuckers. It's so expensive, but
Yeah.
it was all right. I mean, that's Christmas, right? So you plan accordingly. But I think New Year's is going to be a little bit fun. I think we're gonna go have some drinks. Get
Nice.
together with the family again. There was some stuff that didn't come in time for Christmas that I'm gonna get to them now, and we'll go and we'll have some drinks and we'll ring in the new year. I don't think I've ever celebrated it with my family before, so that'll be kind of weird. Going to I've never really like I've never done. It's always been like a New Year's Eve party with friends or a partner or whatever, but never with family. So we'll see how this goes.
That's fair. Well, hey,
What about you? Any New
no
Year's
time like the
resolutions
present.
or what?
No, man.
No? What?
No. Like I said, New Year, say me.
Well, and again, back to last episode, right? If you set expectations, you're gonna just disappoint yourself. So
That's it. Now I've got one other person to disappoint in life. No, thank you.
that's it. It just raises the chances of you being disappointing to someone, right? So
Right?
2026, same Calvo. I love it.
Yeah. Hey, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's silly too. Like, just like deciding on, okay, starting this day, I'm gonna be a changed man. No, probably not. I'm gonna set a goal and not get there within the first week. So, no resolutions. I'm just going to, you know what? I'm gonna enjoy myself. I got a cruise coming up in a couple weeks, so
Nice.
that's gonna be just have the best fucking time and rock out on this Emo's Not Dead cruise. You've seen the bands that are going on this thing, right? So
Yep. Should
stoked,
be a
man. I'm
good
just gonna
time.
rock out. Oh, it's gonna be great.
Man, I actually love cruises. My wife
Yeah,
isn't really the biggest fan because it is busy, like especially
yeah,
if you're getting off at ports and whatnot. But I like it because like I'm not really a big beach person. Like I am, but I'm not. Like
yeah.
I enjoy it, but I get bored. So I like the cruises because all the entertainment's right there. If you get stuck on a sea day, then sure, yeah. If they got bands coming in, usually got a casino on board.
Yeah.
You know, just make sure you buy the drink package. That's going to be my one advice to you. Just buy
Oh
the
yeah,
drink
we
package.
definitely have a drink package. We're gonna be a little bit toasty all trip, I'm sure. But I'm total opposite of you. Like I could just chill on a beach. Well, there's one day where we dock in Mexico, and
Nice.
basically you have like 8 hours to hang out on the beach or find some excursions nearby or whatever. I'm just gonna sit on the fucking beach with a drink in hand the whole time.
I,
I don't get bored. I just want to chill in the sun, man.
I
Get away
like
from this winter shit.
I like 1 or 2 days like that, and like I don't want to be like crazy busy where I'm doing all these excursions and whatnot, but like
Right.
I like just a change of scenery, right? Like I don't know, maybe that's just like slight autism in me. I can't sit still. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of these things. The reason I like cruises, it gives you a chance to explore all these different places and maybe give you an opportunity to see which one you'd like to go back to, right? If
Yeah.
you're gonna do like a week-long trip somewhere, that's my favorite part. But man, the food is incredible. My one advice, like if they do like sit down dinners each night, just go to those. Don't just crush the buffets all the time because man, those sit down dinners are unreal.
Yeah. And just, I want to go back for a sec. We're not laughing at autism. I probably have a full-on case of the autism. All kinds of tism up in this brain. So not laughing at autism at all. Just funny that you said that.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the food and yeah, I love that you're gonna just be able to walk around all day, fresh drink in hand. I kind of feel like Lily's character on How I Met Your Mother. Remember? Thank you, Linus. Just constantly a
Yeah,
drink in hand. I love that.
exactly.
That'll be me.
Exactly.
Thank you, Linus. All trip. So hell
Nice.
yeah,
Well, just like a cruise gives you a little bit of everything.
yeah, man.
Week 17 didn't disappoint either, right? We had upsets, we had basically you name it.
Yeah.
Playoff spots were clinched, teams locking up divisions, and of course, teams inventing new ways to disappoint their fans.
What are you doing,
Lions.
Rams? You had a chance at the one seed, and now you're gonna finish like sixth. Come
I don't
on,
even want to
guys.
fucking talk about the
Fucking
Rams.
Rams. But yeah, only two playoff spots remaining up for grabs, and shocker, it's the same two that it usually is. It's the number four seed in each conference. Because the Steelers, Ravens, Bucks, and Panthers are out to show us just how terrible you can technically be while still falling ass backwards into a playoff spot. But first, we'll talk week 17. We're going to break down what mattered and overreact accordingly because it's December football, buddy, and subtlety died weeks ago, didn't it? So buckle up,
Agreed.
keep your receipts, and if anything we say hurts your feelings, good. It's probably because it mattered. So let's dive in.
Sure. What do you got?
I think we should start. We should start with some Christmas Day football, buddy. Detroit
Oh,
Lions
you want to
looking at.
hurt my feelings right away.
Let's
Great.
talk about it. We got to dive right in. I think the Detroit Lions coming into this game is very slim chance to keep their playoff hopes alive, but the chance was there. All they had to do was beat the lowly Vikings. What happened? Besides the fact
Offense.
that they didn't do that.
Yeah, the offense was all out of sorts again. Like we couldn't run the ball. Our offensive line was letting up pressures left, right, and center. The defense was dominant. Like, man, I don't even really know the whole stat line for Brosmer there, but man, it was not good. I think he
No.
had like net 50 something yards, and we still lost. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah,
Like,
your
what are we
offense
doing?
just kept putting the Vikings in amazing field position, so Brosmer didn't have to do much.
Right? Yeah, it was the offensive line in this one. Like
Yeah.
they were just purely awful. Like I can't even say anything more than that. They've six turnovers, five sacks. Like you're not going to win any game doing that.
I can't remember the last time I've seen Detroit play a game like that. Yeah, six turnovers, five of them alone by Jared Goff. What was it? Two picks or three picks and two fumbles?
It was three picks, two
Three picks, two
fumbles.
fumbles. Yeah, just unacceptable in a game where you're playing for your playoff lives.
Right.
It's
And again,
crazy.
a lot of people want to blame Goff for this, but it's not on Goff. Like he had literally zero time to do anything. Like
Yeah.
they were shooting up the middle, left, right, and center. Even Sewell was getting beat. What kind of pissed me off, like, and I totally get it, especially now having a son. Like we forget that these people are human too and want to be home for the holidays, but these guys were complaining before the game even or like the week even started that they had to play on Christmas after playing on Thanksgiving. Why did they have to play both holidays?
Yeah.
And it kind of showed like it they did not look like they were playing inspired football to say, hey, our season is still intact here. Like all we got to do is win this game, worry about the Bears in week 18 and just get a little bit of help and you're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Part of
Well,
me didn't even really want them in there. Like they're not good enough this year.
the fact that this isn't Detroit's year is made like the point is made by the fact that they were complaining about the fact that they had to play on Christmas. Like this is not a Dan Campbell team. Like Dan Campbell's
Right.
team doesn't complain about shit. They don't whine
No.
about having to play on any certain days. They conduct their business and they show up to the
Mhm.
field and they put belt to ass. So this, I mean, I don't know if like obviously Dan Campbell's not going to lose his job, but he needs to get a firmer grasp on this team heading into next year because like this is not a, like this is the one of the most hard-nosed teams in the league, these Detroit Lions. They don't complain about this shit. So hearing that I was
No.
like, yeah, this is definitely not their year.
No, it was odd. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Just odd. And I mean, I get it, right? Like nobody wants to be playing all the holidays, but you got a job to do, right? There's lots of people that have to work on Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, name
Yep.
it, right? And they can't be any different. But it is what it is, I guess. Just a lost year,
Yeah.
which really sucks because you feel like the window is fairly open, and now there's going to be some big overhaul changes probably in the offseason. We got a lot of guys that are free agents that probably won't be back that were, I won't necessarily say like integral part of the teams, but you might have Taylor Decker, Graham Glasgow. Those are two veteran pieces on the offensive line that have been pretty banged up.
Yeah.
Do they retire? Anzalone's a free agent. Does he go somewhere else or does he stay? Um, yeah, just like key little pieces that one, I mean, it could help free up some cap space for us, which we desperately need going into next year, but it's just not meant to be.
Well, you just signed Goff to a big extension, 53 mil a year or something like that for the next three. I think he's the three. What is there? 3 years left on that deal now. So
Yeah,
he's not
three
going
years.
anywhere. I imagine a lot of your pieces once you get back healthy, like that's still a dominant team. And next year, if you finish fourth in the division, like if you lose this week, you're finished dead last in the NFC North, which no one would have thought the Lions would do this year.
No.
But going into next year, you get that fourth place schedule, right? So you get to play the other division's fourth place finishers, right? So it
There,
should be it
there's
should
a
be
big rumor going around that once they knew they weren't catching Chicago, that was what the play was. Just
hey,
get the easy schedule for next
fuck
year,
yeah.
get back healthy. I don't believe in that shit, but you got to play who's on your schedule. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was a little bit of a gauntlet this year for them, but yeah, I don't think I saw this coming, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
it stings big time, especially when you win 15 games last year, even
Yeah.
with all the injuries that you had. And like, is some of it the coordinators? Sure. Is some of it the injuries? Sure. But again, the injuries didn't play a part in not being able to run the football.
Yeah.
Injuries didn't play a part in like turning the ball over 6 times. Like
Yeah.
that's just not it. So no excuses. You
Yeah.
sucked.
Well, to go from a 15 win season to not even winning 10 is a huge disappointment. But you know what? Let's move on. We got a lot of ground to cover. Speaking
Yep.
of disappointing seasons, buddy, the Kansas City Chiefs,
Mm-hmm.
they playing their last home game of the year, potentially Travis Kelce's last game at Arrowhead. And I mean, yeah, they got Oladokun, their third string QB, and running the show. So odds were stacked against them. Denver comes in as the number one seed, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, this was actually a fairly close game. But obviously, Chiefs blew it and kind of blew Travis Kelce's possible going away party.
I'm not upset about it.
Yeah, I'm not either.
They've had their moments.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I mean, sure, you want to ride off if that is the last one with a win, but
yeah,
that's not always reality, right? And just take solace in the fact that you had a pretty damn good career, multiple Super Bowl wins.
yeah.
Like, you're good. You don't have anything else to prove, right? So if that's it, then that's it. But what's kind of nice, and we've kind of talked about it, the parity in the league, right? We're seeing some new blood that's coming through
Yeah.
and pushing some of these juggernauts out. And it's maybe as shocking as it is to see, it's also quite awesome.
Oh, I fucking love it. Have a seat, Casey. Take the next couple, sit the next couple plays out. I love it. Just take a year off from the playoffs. And this is a great year. Like, no Mahomes, potentially no Lamar, no Burrow. Like Josh Allen, here's your chance to run away with the AFC, man. But
Right.
there's a lot of powerhouses in the AFC for Josh Allen to get through. So we'll move on from there. Obviously, Denver wins. They are still the number one seed. They control their own destiny. If they win this week, they lock up that one seed, but the Patriots can still catch them. So yeah, we'll move on to Saturday, man. The Ravens Packers.
Wild game.
Ravens fighting for. I mean, with the Lions loss, it locked the Packers into a playoff spot. So the Packers really had nothing to play for at this point. So they
Mhm.
started Malik Willis, but the Ravens, dealing with an injured Lamar, decided to start Tyler Huntley. Well, it paid off. Ravens get a huge win, 41-24, keep their slim playoff hopes alive, which aren't so slim anymore. All they have to do is beat a reeling Pittsburgh team next week. But the Packers are locked into that 7 seed in the NFC. So, yeah, it was really the only team with skin in the game here was the Ravens, and they showed out.
Right. On the back of Derrick Henry.
Oh, baby.
Old man taking it all. 216 rushing yards and four rushing touchdowns.
League
What
winner.
an
If you had him in
animal.
fantasy, he won your week for you alone. So,
Right? Oh my God. And with that stat line, that was actually the most yards ever by a visiting player at Lambeau Field. And
crazy.
probably one of the greatest rushing nights in NFL history. I think really the only one that could maybe top that would be, remember when Alvin Kamara went off on Christmas a couple years ago? I think he had like 5 touchdowns and like
Yeah,
300 all-purpose yards. Like he was insane that game.
wild. But yeah, 200 plus and four rushing touchdowns is that's a huge week 17 stat line to drop, buddy.
Right?
That's crazy.
Well, and speaking of huge stat lines to drop, and probably nobody expected it, was Malik Willis.
Hmm.
Like I feel like anytime this guy has had to step in and for the Packers, he's just done a great job.
He's a
Like
good quarterback.
I think he deserves another opportunity at a starting job here somewhere, but obviously there's only so many openings available,
Yeah.
and everyone likes that shiny new quarterback coming out of college, right? But 288 yards and a passing touchdown and 60 rushing yards and two rushing touchdowns. Like, man, how can you ask for much more out of your backup than that?
You can't. He only had three incompletions. He was 18 for 21, and this is despite the Packers losing by 17 points. Like this was crazy. He was so good. But
Right.
just the defense without Micah got got shit mixed, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, obviously when you have 41 points, you're dominating the time of possession. And
Yeah.
hey, the Ravens get it done and set up a key matchup against the Steelers in week 18, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah. Speaking of those Steelers, they had
Wah,
every
wah,
opportunity
wah.
to lock up the AFC North, punch their ticket to the playoffs. All they had to do was beat the lowly Cleveland Browns, the shitty, almost last place Cleveland Browns. What happened? They did not do that. They 13-6 Cleveland wins against the Steelers. The Steelers couldn't even muster a touchdown against Cleveland. And Miles Garrett didn't even get a sack in this game. So like this was crazy.
Well, that's the big thing, right? They said that they were too busy worried about not letting Miles get that record than playing football. And the key
Why are
moment,
you caring about that? Win the game and make the
I know,
playoffs, you idiots.
right? Exactly. What's more valuable to you, a
Who
playoff
cares if
or
Garrett sets a record?
right? And I mean, just priceless for me. You see old man Rogers out there, Kenny Gainwell wide open on the last play and tries to shoot it to the end zone. Like, what are you doing, dummy? I mean, it makes me laugh so hard, but I mean, I just hope, I just pray that the Steelers crash out next week against the Ravens. Like I think I mentioned in the group chat, I know several Steelers fans, and they've just been giving it to me ever since they beat the Lions, which
Yeah,
again should have never happened. Took a fluky catch by Kenny Gainwell to tie that game and
yeah.
push it forward. But man, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, could not score a touchdown against the Browns, and Shador balled out.
Hey, man, starting QB. He's a QB1 going into next year. We've said it a couple times now. He's not really doing anything to dispel that notion either. He had a pretty good game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously they only scored 13 points, so not a huge offensive showing, right? But considering you're
The Steelers
missing,
have a good defense, though. So,
Steelers got a good defense, and you're missing Judkins, who's
yeah,
probably your best weapon, right? So, um, I want to take a minute though and talk about Harold Fannin. Like he was low on the radar for like the top tight ends this year. You know,
yeah.
you had Warren, you had Loveland coming in, and like Fannin got some hype, but he wasn't really massive. And like this dude had like over 70 receptions this year, and like I think he has like 6 or 7 touchdowns. Like he's been fantastic for the Browns, even having a Joku in the picture.
Even more impressive is the fact that the Browns haven't really had an offensive identity all year long. So the fact that Fannon's doing this no matter who's under center or
Right.
who's playing running back or who's doing what, Fannon's getting it done. He's had actually really, really quietly, but really good year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know who's also had a really good year? Sam Darnold.
Whew.
And who would have thought that Sam Darnold would go to the Seahawks and become basically one of only like 4 quarterbacks to win like 13, 14 games in multiple years for
Yeah,
two
because the
different
Vikings
teams?
went 14-3 last year with Darnold. So yeah,
Yeah. So man, making history on, it's so good to see. Like we talked about Darnold as one of the comeback players of the year last year, right? And
yeah,
he's proven it wasn't really a joke. So maybe he's found that maturity, got under a couple systems that actually taught him how to play quarterback.
yeah.
And now he's just rolling and wasn't playing a slouch team. I mean, I know the Panthers record isn't insanely good, but they've been cruising lately, beating some decent teams this year,
Yeah.
pushing for the division. And the Seahawks spanked them by 17 points. Like this game wasn't even close.
Well, as it was close like till halftime. It was 3-3 at halftime. I think it was a weirdly low scoring game, and then all the scoring pretty much came in the second half. And Sammy D, oh, you nasty. But especially nasty is that Seahawks defense, man. They set the tone early, shut down Carolina's offense for most of the game, really. Bryce Young was able to get through with a touchdown late, but Yeah, I mean this is probably the best team in the NFC, and they showed why. Like Panthers aren't bad. Panthers are a solid team. They're probably going to be a playoff team. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But
Right.
yeah, when you can come in and dominate like that on both sides of the ball,
Right. Well, the
fuck yeah,
Seahawks kind of raised some eyebrows last year, right? When they drafted Zach Charbonnet.
yeah,
Because, like, you guys got Kenny Walker. What are you guys doing? And I think multiple teams have proven that you need that solid 1-2 punch, but
yeah.
Charbonnet might be taking over as the number one here. Like, it seems like any red zone touches he's getting,
He gets all the red zone looks. It's crazy.
like 110 yards rushing and two scores. He helped Seattle single handedly basically blow open that second half and cruise to that victory. But man, it's kind of crazy. Like Kenny Walker really only had that one great year in his rookie year, and he's kind of slowly he's doing like the Zeke, where he's just like slowly dropping off over the last.
Well, it's weird. Like he's such a. It seems like he's such a. He's so like tied to usage, and he's one of those
Mhm.
guys that like if you don't use him enough, like the production just isn't there. And so like if Charbonnet is cutting into his touches, like you expect Walker to be like, okay, well if I'm gonna get fewer touches, I'm gonna show you what I can do and earn those touches back. And he just doesn't. Like he goes the
No,
opposite way with it. And if he doesn't get used very often, he kind of just sort of retreats in on himself and doesn't really do much. And then obviously Charbonnet is gonna touch the ball more and with good reason. If Charbonnet is gonna keep putting up those numbers, 100 plus yards, couple of more scores, like this guy is unreal and he's probably going to take over that starting job going into next year. So where does Kenny Walker go, right?
absolutely. So
But
yeah,
I mean, these
who
are great
knows?
problems to have when you're a first place team. So
Absolutely. I mean, it's almost an embarrassment of riches, right?
yeah,
And that's how these good teams get to that point. It's good development,
yep,
drafting the right players when you need to. Like there's something to be said about taking the best player off the board versus just drafting based on positional need, right? And
yep.
you can figure the rest out after, whether it's free agency or undrafted guys. But um, yeah, good for the Seahawks. I mean, I didn't really expect much from them coming into this year. I thought the Rams would just kind of run wild with that division this
Yeah,
year, and
same, same.
man, the Seahawks just maintain firm control atop that NFC West. It's nuts.
Seahawks go to 13-3, first place in the NFC. If they beat the Niners this coming weekend, they will have the number one seed. The Panthers fall to 8-8 and are clinging to that fourth spot in the NFC. The division title in the NFC South is probably going to be theirs because we'll talk about it in a little bit. But it's
Yep.
weird that the Falcons can actually help the Panthers win this division. So,
Right.
speaking of the NFC South, though, buddy, the Buccaneers, they didn't really have to win this game. Like, it didn't really matter what they did in this one because with the Panthers losing, it was still going to come down to a Week 18 showdown.
Hmm.
So why bother even winning? They didn't. They went
Right.
out and they lost to the fucking Dolphins. So
Right.
Miami, they get that close road victory. They got another one coming up, division match this weekend against the Patriots. I believe the Patriots looking to lock up the number one seed against them, but the Dolphins are kind of frisky. They're winning weird games, right?
Yeah. Well, Quinn Ewers getting his opportunity, and he
Yeah,
actually looked half decent in this one. I don't know his full stat line on here, but I know he connected for that one long bomb down the sideline, and like that was a dart that he threw in there too. So, getting his opportunity to shine, and man, you beat a Bucks team that actually has a lot to play for, and leave it to the NFC South to all be like 8 and 9, and leaving it to the last week.
Quinn Ewers, 14 for 22, 172 yards passing, two touchdowns, no picks.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
serviceable,
Attaboy.
better than Tua.
Is Quinn Ewers the guy now going forward, like
Oh,
next year?
I would
Get,
assume like
get rid of Tua?
you have it's kind of an interesting position, right? Because like much like we talked about when at the beginning of the year with Ramondre Stevenson, right, with the Patriots, like he's not the guy that this regime drafted.
Right.
So you have whole new management staff that's going to be coming in. Who knows if Mike McDaniel's there next year? So there's going to be a lot of changes with the Dolphins coming next year. So I think it's going to be the youth movement. The problem is, how do you move Tua? Like who's going to take him? He makes way too much money
That's
and he's
true.
terrible,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
They might
that's
just have to eat that money at some point
yeah,
in
or he's
dead
just going
cap
to have to be
space.
the
But
backup, right?
yeah.
So it's one of these things that
Imagine paying your backup quarterback over $50 million a
as
year.
the Falcons,
Yeah, true enough. Yeah.
right?
But the Bucks, man, like I don't know what Baker. He's just kind of limping to the finish line now. Here, the Bucks go to 7-9. Baker throws a couple more picks, a couple more turnovers by the Bucks here, and they're just limping to the finish line. But they can still win the division and go to the playoffs if they beat the Panthers this coming week, as long as Atlanta doesn't win as well against the
Yeah.
Saints.
Yeah, if Atlanta wins, then it's all shot to hell.
Well,
But
it's a three-way tie at 8 and 9 for the division, and
right,
by virtue of that, the Panthers somehow have that tiebreak, the 3-1 heads up
right.
record there, and so they win the three-way tiebreak. The Panthers will go to the playoffs if they win, or if the Falcons win. So weird. Anyway,
Right. Well, it's funny too. Like I don't know if you saw that meme where it's like, all these teams are 8 and 9, and then you got the best team in the Saints that are only 7 and 11, and
yeah,
they're not going to make the playoffs. So
Saints are the best team in the division right now at 7 and 10. Yeah,
right,
it's so
right,
sad.
right. Well, one game that's probably not really worth talking about was the Bengals Cardinals, but we wanted to bring it up for a couple reasons
Yeah.
because Jamar Chase continued his historic run here, adding to the streak of 1,000-yard seasons in TD production, even without having Joe Burrow for most of the year.
Hmm.
Why that's important is, you see guys like Mike Evans that have been doing it for such a high level, right? And I think most would put Jamar Chase above Evans in talent level, right? So it'd be
At
interesting to
this
see
point,
if
yeah,
if they can push for that Jerry Rice record. And those stats mean a lot to those guys, right? Especially in a losing season, if you can still put up those numbers to prove that you're still the guy,
yeah,
goes a long way. But I'll tell you, the whole story about this game was Trey McBride
yes, sir.
just made history, setting the single season record for receptions by a tight end. He surpassed your boy Zach Ertz.
Got a lot of nerve passing my boy Ertz.
Which, yeah, I mean, still impressive 116 catches on a year, but
Yeah,
Trey McBride's like, you know what? I'll do you one better. I'll do 119. And he's still not done yet
with a game to go. Yeah,
with a game to go.
yes.
So,
Gonna make it
yes,
untouchable. Fuck.
119 is now the single season record for receptions by a tight end. And not only that, he was the first tight end with 100 plus receptions in multiple seasons.
That's ridiculous in itself. Tight ends don't normally get featured in an offense nearly that much. I
No.
mean, if we look at it, like guys like Travis Kelce and like Tony Gonzalez and like they're at Antonio Gates, like there's some huge names that played tight end in this league for a very long time that don't have a stat like that, right? So
Yeah, it's kind of this new wave of tight ends, right? Like you can't just be a blocking guy, and I think we're seeing more checkdowns more than we have ever in the past because more teams are playing zone, right? And
yeah,
taking away those deep shots and kind of stacking the box against the run for some of these teams. So um I think it's also just a product of how terrible the Cardinals offense is. Like they
yeah, I
lost
knew we were gonna
they
get there.
well, I mean, they lost Connor, right? So, like, after that happened, their run game really took a big hit.
Yeah,
Marvin Harrison's been in and out of the lineup forever, which, I mean, we've seen the emergence of Michael Wilson, which, he's had more fantasy points this year than CD Lamb, which,
yeah.
I mean, crazy, right? But then
Well,
who
and
else are you going to throw it to?
I really thought Kyler Murray was going to take a step this year, man. I thought Arizona for sure was going to be a great team. I was like, they've kind of started putting it together at the end of last year, and I was like, okay, this is the year Arizona sort of blows up, and that did not fucking happen. Kyler is terrible when he's healthy. Most of the time he's injured, but when he's healthy, he's ass. So yeah, it's just crazy to see that Trey McBride's able to do what he's done with so much I guess bit of a QB carousel there. Jacoby Brissett's been really good obviously, but
Yeah,
yeah, a little bit of uncertainty there in that offense, and they've only won what, like 3 games this year, and Trey
yep,
McBride is the lone bright spot for that Arizona team this year.
for sure. Taking him on his back. Well,
Hell yeah.
two quarterbacks that took pretty big leap this year were Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we got robbed of kind of that matchup based on Daniel Jones getting injured a few weeks ago. But Philip Rivers has stepped in, looked very serviceable, showing you that it doesn't matter how old you are. If you got the knowledge of the game, you can still get it done.
Hell yeah.
If you can throw it 10 yards downfield, you're probably okay. But Trevor Lawrence under Liam Cohen, it didn't start out so great to start the year. It looked like there
No.
was some turmoil. They were, you know, kind of going at each other on the sidelines. But man, Trevor Lawrence has kind of turned a corner here over these last few weeks and leading this Jaguars team to potentially a first place finish in their division. And I know you've been really high on this Jaguars team. So
Love me some Jags.
why don't you tell me a little bit about this game?
Dude, they're still in the running for the first overall seed in the AFC. They could lock down the first round bye. If they win this week and both the Broncos and Patriots lose, we'll talk more about that again in a second. We're talking week 18 and playoff picture. But man, it's been a year for the Jags. Like they started 5-4. They were kind of win loss to start. They scuffled out of the gate and couldn't really figure it out. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen have got it going. They figured it out. and they've won 7 straight games. The Jags are 12-4. Very good chance to lock up the division and very good chance to finish top three in the AFC. It's just been a blessed year for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I love to see it. I'm a fan of this team. I love to see Trevor Lawrence do well, and they're just fun to watch. Like this is a scary good team. The defense is just beating teams to a pulp. It's
Mhm.
fantastic to watch if you're a fan of good football and you know funky Jags teams kind of coming out of nowhere that you get your Baltimores and your KCs and your Buffaloes and your all your teams that are good every year. How about those Jags? It's nice to see some. It's refreshing.
Well, I'll say like obviously I'm a diehard Lions fan, right? Like
Yeah,
they come first before anything else. But now that they've been eliminated, it was kind of nice to watch the weekend games with like less objectifying views, right? Of
right, right.
like, man, this team sucks because they're not mine,
Yeah,
right? And not that I ever want to see my team not in the playoffs, but and I mean, we do this podcast, so a lot of I football is probably the only sport that I watch that I will watch any team. I don't
100%. Yeah,
care who's playing. Maybe it's just because of how short the season is. I'm like super invested,
yeah.
and plus we do the podcast, right? But like I said, Detroit comes first and foremost. But I can get behind some of these other teams. Like I like seeing new teams in the playoffs, new storylines, right? Like, and it just it's a roll of the dice on what's going to happen. Like I think anybody could agree. Like you looking at that AFC, like before the year started, you'd say, okay, well, yeah, these powerhouses are still there. But man, if Baltimore doesn't get in, if Buffalo is technically considered like the powerhouse, which they're not even really that great this year. Like that AFC is wide open, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if you see one of these teams sneak deep into the playoffs just because of that. So
Just sneak deep. Yeah, man.
sneaking
I
deep.
just sneaking deep. Yeah, no, I will say I love watching hockey. I love watching my Leafs play, but you're absolutely right. If it's like a Devils Islanders, I'm not fucking watching that. But
Hell
I
no.
will watch any football game.
Yeah,
Jags, Titans, I don't care. I'll watch.
yeah.
So,
Even if it's the Patriots smashing the Jets,
yeah.
42
Um,
to 10.
that's it. We'll get to that in a sec. I just want to talk about the Colts for one sec because Philip Rivers came in, brought them thinking that they could, the playoff hopes were on life support already, and I thought,
Mhm.
maybe Philip Rivers can get us there. He does not win a single game coming out of retirement as a Colt, unfortunately. It would have been nice to see him win one just for the
Mhm.
story aspect of it, but um, I mean, he could probably come back and play next year. We'll find out what his decision is in the offseason. He'll probably retire again, but
Yeah, he said he's not going to. It
he's
already
not going to
came
come
out.
back.
No, he's not going to come back.
Just the one last kick at the can, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's had some fun for 3 weeks. You know what? Whatever.
absolutely.
But yeah, Patriots Jets. Patriots all over all over the Jets. Drake May cementing his case for MVP. Historic
Hmm.
performance. 5 touchdown passes. Ties a franchise mark. I assume that's with Tom Brady.
Yep.
Dominate the stat sheet and just blow the Jets out of the water. The Jets fucking terrible. Patriots have a shot at the number one seed.
Absolutely. They're just dominating. What's even more impressive is they went 8-0 on the road, right?
That's wild.
And that's very hard to do.
Oh yeah.
I think the Lions did it last year. But
It's hard to go
it's
8-0 at home, never mind on the road.
right. So yeah, Drake May's got this team playing some great football, but there's some controversy around the Patriots right now. Stephon Diggs
Yeah.
getting charged.
Come
Just
on, guy.
can't remember the last guy that just I just saw it today, another charge against a Patriots player. Like, what are you guys doing? It's probably one of the best years you've had, even with Tom Brady. And like everything is right there in your grasp. You could be one of the big powerhouse teams in the AFC going into the playoffs.
It's
And
so
you
easy.
guys do these stupid ass things.
It's so easy to not be a fucking dick. It's so
Right.
easy to not commit crimes, not assault people, not. Come on, Stephon Diggs, man. You're on the verge of potentially a Super Bowl run here with the Patriots. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Idiot.
Not to mention you're choking out a chick. What a piece of shit.
Grow the fuck up. You're a piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
There's
do
no
that stuff.
no excuse for that.
You're a multimillionaire. Just suck it up. Your
Yeah.
meal sucked one night. Who cares?
I'm
Buy
gonna I'm
another one.
I'm tagging Stephon Diggs in this episode once we post it. I don't even fucking care. Come at
Just
me.
the
How are you gonna defend yourself?
just the poop emoji.
Yeah. I'm a fucking loser. Anyway.
Sure. Well, speaking of losers, we had the toilet bowl going on. Giants versus the Raiders.
Giants, what are you doing?
I think it was inevitable. I mean, the Raiders weren't going to let that slip away.
I mean, I feel like the Raiders were not. If they were trying, they would have lost still probably, but they would have lost
Yeah.
by like 10. But it was pretty clear that they're punting this one. They lost by 24.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I have a high case for Jackson Dart as rookie of the year. He's done very well. And I mean, he's lost weapons left, right, and center. Obviously the wins aren't there, but like think about this team right now. If they still had neighbors in the lineup, they still had Cam Scadaboo. They lost, I think Kayvon Thibodeau's barely played this year.
Yeah.
Like they'd be in a much different position. Like I'm not saying that they would have won their like the division, like, but
No, but that offense was humming for a bit
it was
when everyone was
like,
healthy. Yeah.
and that makes a big difference. And their defense has kept them in most of these games. Like I think maybe they've only been blown out a couple times, right? And
Well,
it was
coming into
mostly
the
with
year, their
Russell
pass
Wilson.
rush was supposed to be the calling card for this team. Like the best part about this team was the fact that
Hmm.
they can kind of get after it on defense a little bit. And it kind of flipped partway through the year when Dart came in and Scadaboo started being the starter. And obviously the first little bit with Neighbors until he went out. But even Wandell Robinson after that was getting the job done. Like this offense was good. The defense just stopped stopping teams. So. Yeah, I mean it's a lost year obviously for the Giants, and they'll get a pretty high pick. Obviously not the first overall pick now, but they'll get a
Hmm.
pretty high pick, and you have to figure that really nowhere to go but up next year.
Oh, I think they're going to be in the play for it, especially if they get back healthy and
Yeah,
everyone's good. And you should see that progression of Jackson Dart, right? And
yeah.
but yep, Raiders lock
Raiders
up the
lose.
number one.
I was hoping that this was actually going to still be a good game. Battle of the it was a shit game. So
Yeah,
yeah, Raiders get that number one pick. Let's go. Let's move on.
yeah. Well, another game that was pretty shitty. And speaking of a team relying on their defense,
Yeah.
dude, you got to witness this game in person. Eagles, Bills, your boys come out, win by one on a. You must have been sweating even though you're in the freezing cold.
Yeah, it was tense. And story of the year for these fucking Eagles play one half of football. So they looked pretty good in the first half. Obviously, the defense was good throughout, held the Bills off the scoreboard for 55 minutes of 60. They didn't, but Bills didn't score till like 5 minutes left in the fourth. But yeah, I mean, we scored a touchdown, a couple field goals in the first half. The rain was fucking terrible. Like, there was no chance either offense was going to move well in this. Like, it was very hard to pass the ball.
Yeah.
Sitting in the seats, we're by the second quarter, we're drenched. The rain's coming down. We're freezing. We're shivering. Um, yeah, just an ugly game. So just imagine how it was on the field, just trying to get any traction out there or throw the ball in that. And it was like, honestly, why couldn't it have been a little bit colder and just snow on us? The
Right.
rain made it fucking miserable, but it was a great time. Like we had, I actually didn't get to watch any football because we got to the parking lot of Highmark at like noon. So before any of the games kicked off, and we just found and the cops don't care. Like the streets lined with
Oh yeah.
police. But everyone's going into like the convenience stores or the vendors along the way and just loading up on booze. And so you're just
Hmm.
walking down the street with a case of beer. And Kyle and I were, my buddy Kyle, Eagles fan as well, we're just having a great time. We found a couple tailgates to just hang out at, and one of them actually had all like DAZN on, so all the afternoon games are playing in the back of this
Nice.
one pickup truck in the parking lot, and everyone's just kind of under. It was fine. Look, we were under a little umbrella for or like a tent thing for a bed and kind of stay out of the rain. But once you actually start have to go into the stadium and just sit there. Like fuck, man. It was. I mean, it's always nice to see a win, but it was gross. It
Where
was
were your
like
seats, anyways?
we were in section 300, way up there. Like still a pretty good view of the field, and you could see who everyone was without having to look at the jumbotron or everything
Yeah.
or anything like that. But yeah, and I actually expected it to be worse. Like I expected the Bills fans to be chirping us a lot more, or just kind of like run into some assholes. Everyone was so good. Like everyone's so nice. Buffalo Bills, hats off to you guys and bulk. The majority of your fans, everyone that came out to tailgate was just there for a good time, and a little bit of shit talking to us, but all in good fun, right? Like
Oh yeah.
no one was a dick. Everyone was cool, and we were actually seated kind of right in front of a bank of like three or four Bills fans, and we were just chopping it up with them all game. Like we're just kind of saying like if it can't be us, we hope it's you, and they were saying the same thing to us. Like no ill will between us at all, and they were actually a good time to hang out with. So yeah, it was a good time.
It is pretty fun to tailgate in Buffalo
Fuck
and
yeah, man. We were
same with
drunk well before
Detroit.
game time, so
Yeah, if you can get to the market in Detroit too, it's always a great time over there
yeah.
too. So
Fight
yeah,
get
man,
drunk enough you can fight off a little bit of the cold, right?
absolutely. Or fall asleep in the
Or
stands.
fall asleep in the stands like you do.
Hey, it happened one time. Well,
And you'll never live it down.
right. Well, one game made it probably impossible to fall asleep in the stands was the 49ers versus the Bears.
This
And
was
this
the game I
was
was hoping I was gonna get.
right. It might have even been the game of the year. I know we were talking about one a couple weeks ago there, but man, 42-38. This game was just back and forth right down to the final minute. Came down to the final play of the game.
Oh yeah.
Caleb looked really good. So did Purdy. Man, is I know you've called them frauds basically all year long, even
Yeah.
last year. But man, this 49ers team is legit.
And they still have a shot at the number one seed. So watch me call them a fraud when they're the number one seed if they win this week. But no, this game was fucking fantastic. Kyle and I, once we got back to the hotel, still a little bit drunk. We got some Popeyes, we had some candy, we had some
Oh
treats and
yeah.
shit. We were just life was good. We were watching the Sunday Nighter and we were treated to an absolute fucking barn burner of a game. Brock Purdy was so good, 5 touchdown
Mhm.
passes. Some improvisational, like sort of playmaking, keeping plays alive with his legs. This was a shootout and it was fun.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think both teams had a lot to play for still,
Yeah.
right? Like I said, you're gunning for that number one seed.
Yep.
San Fran's trying to even just win their division, right? And forget the number one seed, just
Yeah.
win your division and everything's good. But man, yeah, what a wild game. And I'm not looking forward to the Lions playing the Bears this coming week because I think they're going to stomp us.
You think so, eh? Well, I was
They're-
looking forward to seeing the Bears lose this one. Is it? Oh, sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, that was pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah, I was cheering for the Bears to lose this one because it keeps my Eagles alive for the shot at the number two seed, but we'll talk more about that in a sec.
Mhm.
Speaking of shooting themselves in the foot though, how about those Rams? What are you doing? Monday Night Football, the Rams have a chance, still have a chance at the number one seed with a win, and if things break their way, now they're relegated to a wild card spot, and they've kind of fallen off after looking like the best team in the league for a good chunk of the year, buddy.
And Stafford has had two terrible games in the last 3 weeks.
Oh my God, what has
One
happened?
cost me my playoff matchup, and the other one cost me my dog or my lock of the week pick. Anytime
Is
we pick the fucking Rams this year, they've been like 7.5 point favorites or
Yeah,
more
they
and
fucked you.
lose.
So is Stafford out of the like? Is he no longer the front runner for MVP? Do you think? A couple of duds here in the last few weeks.
I struggle with it because, like, even when you see the other MVPs over the years, like they've had bad games in there.
Yeah,
There's a big debate right now is that Drake May has had one of the easiest schedules and
yeah.
Stafford's had one of the hardest. And
Stafford's overall body of work should be enough, but
I agree. I think Drake May's just playing at a really high level.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think you can take anything away from May, but obviously a big part of me is rooting for my boy,
yeah,
Matty Stafford, to win it, especially at his age, right? Like, how often does that come around where you see a super veteran quarterback like that? Usually they're like middle of the pack and their ratings just serviceable, right? But no, this guy is like legit leading this team.
yeah.
And you have to remember, he hasn't even had Devontae Adams for the last few weeks either. So
True.
there's been a lot of things going on that has kind of impacted some of the production, if you will, from Stafford over the last few weeks. But man, then he just ran into a hot Falcons team.
Falcons are hot right now, and they delivered this massive, massive home upset against those Rams who are trying to lock. Well, they were trying to lock down that one seed. Falcons can't even make the playoffs right now, so they're just looking to play spoiler.
Hmm.
Bijan Robinson, have a day, kid. 195 rushing yards, including a 93-yard touchdown run. That's the longest run of the NFL season, franchise record for Atlanta. So this kid
Yeah.
just keeps continuing to impress.
Well, at one point, the Rams were down 21-0, and I think it was going into half. I was like, man,
Yeah,
I don't, but it was weird. I was like, I don't think the Rams are out of this.
no,
Like I like it took, obviously there was a pick six in there. Um, there was two interceptions. So I was just like, it's just been kind of bad field position for
yeah.
the Rams defense that's given up these points.
If there's anyone who can mount a second half comeback, it's Matt Stafford, right?
Right. And she sure did, like rolled all the way back. And then again, like took a game winning field goal with like 21 seconds left to
Yeah.
ice it for the Falcons. But
But to fall down into a 21 nothing hole to the Falcons to begin with is wild. That was a crazy drama that we did not expect. Um, Blocked field goal return for TD in this game as well by Atlanta, which, or sorry, by the Rams, kind of tied the game late, but Atlanta responded with that 51 yarder to end it at the end there. So
it just goes to
it's
show you though how fast things can change though, right? Week to week. Like a couple weeks ago, we're talking about the Rams is like the best team in the NFL,
yeah,
gunning for the number one seed in the NFC, gonna win their division easily. Now, like they're guaranteed a playoff spot.
yeah.
And I mean, unlucky for you, you're probably going to run into the Rams in the first round.
Yeah, they'll be either fifth or sixth, depending on what happens. They'll probably be sixth, and if the Eagles finish three, then yeah, we got a date with LA for the second straight year in the playoffs. But
Rematch.
it's weird. We'll talk about the Atlanta situation in a sec because of what they're doing in the division. But before we talk Week 17, buddy, I think we should play a little bit of in or out. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Um, in or out on this one because there's been, all kinds of controversy about it, injuries and everything like that, calling 44-year-olds out of retirement and all that stuff. But next year, Daniel Jones, is he back as the QB1 for Indy?
I want to say yes. I think he showed enough. I think he ran that system quite well. Now, obviously, he's going to miss a good chunk of next year as well. And he was only on a 1 year deal.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if they sign him to an extension or just re-sign him before the year starts, or if he's going to be one of these guys that could just kind of pick his spot.
Hey, man,
Maybe
he's
that's just
shown
what
that
he
if
is
he's in
this
the
year,
right situation, he can ball, right? So,
right? And I mean, hey, if you're coming back 3/4 of the way through the year next year, just kind of like Mahomes is going to, it's like, okay, well, maybe there's a team like
yeah.
I don't even want to know. Say like, fuck, who knows? Maybe it's even the Lions. Maybe they're in the push next year. Jared Goff goes down.
Well, yeah, any injury to any team, right? They could, see Daniel Jones get healthy and be like, "Oh fuck, here's a guy that can help us on our run. We still want to make the playoffs this year." So,
Well,
yeah.
here's a guy.
Well, here's a guy. Yeah.
But yeah,
For-
so I'm gonna say in on that because I do feel like he did a great job. He had that Colts team humming. They were like
yeah.
8-1 when he went down. So clearly the collapse was not on him. But what do you think?
I'm out on it. I think the injury is going to hold him back, and I'm not sure there's you can't bank on a team having an injury at the right time or needing a guy at the right time next year. So I'm out on it, but I do think that he's got a job waiting for him in 2027.
Nice. Well, a lot of controversy going on right now. There's some been words that were thrown around
Yeah,
in some media scrums. In or out, Joe Burrow leaves the Bengals.
you can't blame the guy for maybe not being the happiest in that situation right now. Like he's, for years now done all he can do to lead that offense to prolific performances most weeks, and the defense continues to let them down week after week. So I get the frustration. I get, maybe wanting to play somewhere where they defense can pick you up once in a fucking while. So it's so tough with contracts and everything like that. But I think I'm in on Burrow leaving the Bengals.
Keep that receipt,
I think
folks.
I'm in on Burrow leaving the Bengals. Now, I will say I don't know if it's going to happen this coming year, but within a couple of years, I think Burrow leaves the Bengals. What do
Yeah,
you
I would
think?
say I'm out on it right now too. Like they've thrown him a shit ton of money. Obviously, the defense needs a lot of work.
Fix the fucking defense. Yeah.
The offensive line needs some work too. So if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm smashing down that GM's door and saying, "Hey, I don't need any more weapons.
Yeah.
Find me offensive linemen and go fix our fucking defense. So if we put up 40 points, we can actually win a game."
Yeah.
So I'm out, but I do think it might be inevitable. Like I think if they don't win in the next 2 years, he's gone for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a safe bet.
Right.
Well, buddy, with we've seen a bit of a resurgence of those older quarterbacks in the last little bit. So guys like Flacco, Philip Rivers contributing this year. Aaron Rodgers still playing at a pretty competitive level. Sorry,
hmm
at a pretty competitive level. TB12, Tom Brady. What do you think? Does he make a comeback? You in or out on that?
I think he still thinks he could. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna be out on that. I think he's just a little like we're not getting a Gordie House situation here, like 50-year-old guy coming in and sling the ball around. I mean, he keeps himself in pretty good shape, but I think now being in like the ownership stake, doing all the media stuff, I think it's a young man's game now.
I'm out on it too. I think he's pretty cozy in that broadcast booth. So
Right. Well,
yeah,
speaking of savvy vets, then does Stafford retire if the Rams win the Super Bowl this year?
I'm in on that. I think, like he's had some issues with his back and with your health. You don't want to fuck around and be, a cripple after you retire from the NFL. You still want to be able to,
Mhm.
chase your kids around and stuff like that. So I think if he gets one more Super Bowl this year, I think he goes out on top. What do you think?
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I think I'm a maybe more than in or out on
Well,
that,
it's
but
crazy. Like coming into this year, they were thinking like, is he even gonna be able to play with his back? Now he's like the front runner for MVP. So it's like he
right.
probably still could play 2 or 3 more years very effectively if he's playing this
I
well at
think
30, whatever he is, 36. So
Yeah, I think it depends on how he's feeling at the end of the season here, like in
yeah,
terms of his health. But
and
I
what the
also know
Rams do.
he's a competitor too. Like I
Yeah.
think their window's definitely open, even if they don't win it this year. Like they've still got all the weapons in the world, right? So maybe not the best time for him to want to leave out, but that's just my opinion.
Okay, I got one more for you here, buddy.
Sure.
Trevor Lawrence and the Jags roll over the AFC next year. Jags number 1 seed. Trevor Lawrence wins MVP next year.
I'm so far out on that.
I
So
knew it.
far out on
I
it.
knew it. That's why I wanted
Like,
to toss it in.
I mean, they've had a great year. I'm not going to take anything away from them, but like if I look at the AFC next year, right? Who knows if Lamar leaves? Who knows if Buffalo gets any better?
Yeah, we know
They
Mahomes is out for most of the year, so
Mahomes is out for most of the year. Like honestly, man, I said this in Stroud's rookie year. I said in the first 5 years, Stroud is going to win MVP and win a Super Bowl.
yeah,
He hasn't won either yet, and next year Houston's going to get super healthy. They're going to get Tank Dell back. They might get Mixon back.
right.
This team, I promise you, is going to be scary.
Houston, yeah.
Houston.
Well, and like even teams like the Broncos, Patriots, Jags, they're all young. Like they're all building around young cores right now.
Mm-hmm.
They could be good for a long time. I think the Broncos and Pats will be back near the top again next year. But yeah, I'm in on that. I'm in on the Trevor Lawrence leading these Jags to the number 1 seed. T-Law is going to be MVP. The Texans will be very good, I think, again next year as well. But yeah, I'm in on that. T-Law, let's go.
There you go. Well, while we're on our like little fun segments, how about we do a little bit of Would You Rather? And we
Yeah,
haven't
fuck yeah.
done this one for a while. And Andy Reid has come out and said, you know what? If the Chiefs will have me back, I'd be happy to stay and coach.
Yeah.
If you're the Chiefs, knowing that you're not going to have Mahomes, is it more valuable to find a new coach, get a new system in place, or is it more valuable to keep Andy Reid, try and get a veteran quarterback, and just ride it out?
Ridiculous question. Would I rather Andy Reid or a new coach? Andy Reid. Best coach in history. I
What if you
mean,
get
people will
Billy,
argue Bill Belichick, but I mean, if are you really going to move on from Andy Reid to Bill Belichick? I can't see them doing that. Come on now.
one old dude to the other?
Yeah, like I think you ride with Andy, and he's been very good in this league for a very long time. So
I think he's earned his right to stay.
that's
So
it. Yeah,
yes, I would rather Andy Reid
Mahomes will
as
be
well.
back. I think the Chiefs will be decent still for a number of years, but yeah.
So let me ask you this then.
Okay.
Quarterback is a very difficult position to develop.
Yeah.
You either have it or you don't, in my opinion. And we've seen it throughout the years. All these guys that get drafted super high, like Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, the list goes on and on and on. We've seen some like pretty decent performances this year. Would you rather have Shadur, Cam Ward, or Tyler Shuck?
I mean, we've seen some flashes out of Shadur. We've seen some brilliant games lately out of Shuck. But give me Cam Ward. Like this is a guy who has all the pieces. All the arm talent is there. The legs are there. Like the way he thinks the game is there. He was drafted first overall for a reason. He's just in a really fucking shitty situation in Tennessee right now. But I think you build up that offensive line a little bit. Give him a little bit better defense. Give him another weapon to throw to. Give me Cam Ward. That's who I want to build my team around. I think he's really good. He's going to be
I
really good.
I think he's definitely the most mobile out
Yeah.
of all of them. I'll tell you,
Mobile quarterbacks are the fucking way to go in the NFL these days, right?
it is
Yeah.
to a certain point, right? There's still something that speaks to me about a gunslinger, and you know what? I Give me Tyler Shuck. He's really impressed me over the
Wow.
last few weeks, and I wasn't very high on him coming into the year, so he's had to earn that respect
Yeah.
of the Calvo, But I think it's
Dang.
one of these things that watching him, and like I've seen a couple mic'd up moments with him over the last couple of weeks, just him talking to his receivers and just what he wants them to do. And then all of a sudden, like he had one last week to Crystal Lave, and he said to him before they went out for that drive, he's like, they're playing a lot of man. When we line up next, just run by them. Sure enough, bang, hit him for the end zone, for the touchdown, and like they're like cheering together up the sidelines, like I told you we were gonna get that. And so like it's cool to see like the confidence start to build, right? Because obviously Shuck wasn't the number one coming into the year, and now he's kind of taking that team and rolling them. And like I said, the Saints might actually be the best team in that division. They just started so poorly that they have no shot at it.
True. Yeah, I mean, Tyler Shuck's really playing with house money at this point. He wasn't expected to do anything, and the fact that he's doing what he's doing, it's impressive as hell. So, yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
solid pick.
Well, there's two guys that have been doing it at a really high level for a really long time.
Yep.
And the running back position has made this big resurgence over the last few years. So maybe we'll run down a few scenarios here of multiple different running backs. And who would you rather have, CMC or Henry?
Oh, let's go rapid fire here. Give me Derrick Henry.
I think I'm with you on that one.
Yeah,
Like, I love CMC, super gadgety player because he can do everything.
he can do everything, but he's an injury risk,
I was
such an
going to
injury
say,
risk.
best asset is staying on the field. So
Yeah,
give me the king,
I like
JT
that.
or Achan.
Give me Achan. I just think he's a little bit more like you can use him in the passing game a little bit more, I think. I think he's a little bit more versatile. I honestly think he's a little bit faster. Give me Achan.
You're not going to, I'm with you on that
Yeah?
for those exact same reasons.
Oh, okay.
I don't like his size. I was, like him to be a little bit bigger, but same thing as like CMC. You can move him everywhere.
Yeah,
He's fast. He can catch. And man, he hits more explosives than probably most of the guys we're going to talk about on this
definitely.
list.
Definitely.
This one might be a little bit of a no-brainer though. James Cook or Bijan?
Bijan.
Moving on. Saquon or Gibbs?
Obviously, we're both going to go with Saquon here.
Oh yeah, clearly not. Give me Jameer
I
all
tossed
day
that one in
long,
just for
baby.
fun. I knew you'd go Gibbs, obviously. All right, one more for you. Kyron Williams or Travis Etienne?
Ooh, I think this is the hardest choice out of all of them because like ETN, so good. And then he's had those like games, years where you're just like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah,
But Kyron has just been that like steady guy, but also has the ability to fuck it up when it matters the most.
yeah,
And even if you look at this last game, Kyron could not do anything on the ground.
yeah.
Ugh, tricky though. I think in the end, I would still take Kyron.
Kyron has Blake Corum waiting in the wings to take his job if he keeps fucking up. Travis Etienne has Bashal Tutin, the rookie, waiting in the wings. So I think Etienne's job is a little bit more secure.
Hmm.
But if we're just going based on talent alone, yeah, I think probably give me Kyron.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right, man. So we're gonna go from there. We got some week 18 hype matchups. There are some playoff implications still yet to be figured out coming up in the final week of the regular season, buddy. We've got some Saturday games, and it's an absolute crime that one of these games was put Saturday instead of Sunday night. However, we'll get there. Week 18 hype matchups. We got a couple on Saturday. We got the Panthers and the Bucks. The 8-8 Panthers versus the 7-9 Bucks to decide the NFC South.
And you know what? Like, I feel like you have to feel for the Bucks. I mean, you had it all within your grasp. You're running wild on that division. You shit the bed in the second half of the year. And even if you win this game, the fate may not even be yours to decide.
Yeah.
So it's one of these things. Panthers got the best of them just a couple weeks ago. I think the Bucks are going to be running high here to prove that they're still the best team in the division.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give me a score prediction for this one.
Oof, I think the Panthers win 2013.
Ooh.
Lock up the division with the sweep of the Bucks this year.
I think it's going to come down to a last second field goal, 24-21 Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. So
But I
that would
think Rico Dowdle's going to give them all he can handle.
yeah, okay. I like that. The funny thing about this is if the Buccaneers win, they go to 8-9. The Panthers fall to 8-9. The Atlanta Falcons are hosting the New Orleans Saints. So if Atlanta wins, they also finish 8-9. They can't win the division, but by strength of the three-way tiebreaker between the Falcons, Bucks, and Panthers, the Panthers would win the division. So even if the Panthers lose this week to the Bucks, they still have actually a pretty good chance at winning the division, because the Falcons are obviously favored against the Saints. So I think that would be hilarious if the Bucks won and the Panthers still won the division.
It's so wild, man.
It's
It's
weird. Yeah,
so wild.
it's crazy. But the game that everyone's going to be tuned in for is the battle for the number one seed in the first round bye in the NFC, the Seahawks and the 49ers. Winner gets the NFC West title and the first round bye.
Oh
Number
hell
one
yeah.
seed in the NFC, buddy. This is going to be, and the fact that they put it Saturday night instead of Sunday night, absolutely wild to me. I mean, either way, it's in prime time, fine. But
Yeah.
yeah, 13-3 Seahawks going into San Fran, into Santa Clara to take on those 12-4 Niners with huge implications. And the loser will finish either fifth or sixth, which is a crazy, like what a fall.
Right. I'm gonna be honest with you though. I like the 49ers in this one.
At home, yeah.
I do. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, they're just Brock Purdy's looking really good right now. So
Yeah, that does track. Yeah.
although I don't think McCaffrey's been practicing yet this week, so we'll see.
Yeah, but he gets maintenance days because he's Christian McCaffrey,
Oh,
right? So,
for sure. For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the Seahawks' chances. I think they're fucking flying high right now. I think Sammy D comes in and puts an exclamation mark on this season. Seahawks go 14-3, best record in the NFC. I like it. And the Niners, if they lose and the Rams win, Rams jump to five, Niners fall to six,
Yeah.
which would mean they'd come to Philly. So I don't like that.
Show you what frauds they
Fucking
actually
frauds,
are,
get out of here. Yeah.
eh? Good night, Eagles.
Yeah. And then we got to talk about the other huge game, huge implications. Win or go home. Ravens Steelers Sunday night. Ravens win, they win the division at 9-8. Steelers would fall to 9-8, but the Ravens have beaten the Steelers twice if they win this one this year, so they'd have the tiebreaker. The Ravens would go to the playoffs. The Steelers are just doing all they can to fucking shoot themselves in the foot here. They could have had this division wrapped up weeks ago.
I love it. Shut some people up. As much as it would be kind of nice to see the
Yeah.
Ravens not be in there, because like I said, see some different people. It's inevitable. Steelers are going to get in, lose first round. So
Yeah.
just give it to the Ravens. At least they got a better shot.
Against the number five. Well, you know what? Actually, because the Texans, Chargers, or Bills could all finish five at this point, and no one knows. So,
Right.
whoever gets into that four spot is going to be hosting one of those wild card teams that's definitely better than them. So,
Yep.
yeah. So it should be interesting. But yeah, Ravens Steelers for the AFC North Sunday night. Winner wins the division, goes to the playoffs. Loser goes home. So fuck yeah.
Oh, it'd be so priceless.
Love
Come
those.
on, Baltimore's.
Love those games. We also have a bunch of games with some playoff implications, though, that we should kind of just touch on briefly
Sure.
as Week 18 sort of unfolds. But first, this little piece of news just came across my computer screen here. The Dallas Cowboys, you've heard, obviously cut Trayvon Diggs. The Green Bay Packers are picking up Trayvon Diggs. So they've claimed him. That's the second big name, really good defender to go from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers this year. Obviously, Micah Parsons, the other one, but Trayvon Diggs picking him up for the playoffs. That improves Green Bay's chances a little bit, you would have to think.
Yeah, I mean, I think Diggs has taken a little bit of a step back this year with his injuries and whatnot. But I mean, anytime you can bring in somebody that's proven that they can do it at a high level and you're banged up at a certain position, doesn't hurt you to take a shot, right? Like,
The defensive system that the Packers run, let's face it, it's a hell of a lot better than Dallas's defense, right? So I think he could
right,
come in and be a difference maker right away.
right.
Yeah.
Matt Eberflus, I think he's just done.
Yeah, I
Nope.
mean, you could be, but we don't have to talk about the Packers too much right now. Let's talk about there's a bunch of games with some implications. We'll go through them quickly. Colts and Texans. So Houston, obviously the Colts are out of the playoffs now. Houston Texans, they can still win the division if they win and the Jags lose. So Houston
Hmm.
can still win and finish third in the AFC, but they can also finish as low as seventh if they lose and a bunch of other teams behind them win. So
Right.
Texans have a lot going on. Titans and Jags, buddy. Obviously, the Titans can't do much. The Jags can go to 13-4. They still have an outside shot at the number one seed if the Pats lose against the if the Pats lose against Miami and the Broncos lose to the Chargers. Not very likely, but it'd be crazy to see the Jags at the one seed. So, but definitely
Anything
going to
can
be
happen.
finishing top three.
If only we were allowed to leak the script.
That's crazy. All right, what else we got going on? What else has implications this week?
Well, the Jets at the Bills.
Yeah,
Buffalo is currently the 7th seed, locked into a wild card spot no matter what. It's just a matter of where they're going to finish
yeah,
and who they're going to play, right? And so they can move up if the Texans and or the Chargers lose, which the
yeah,
Chargers are resting Herbert this week.
yeah.
And I don't really see the Texans losing to the Colts, but you never know.
Never
So
know.
it'd be kind of wild though. Buffalo finishing the 7th seed, like complete
Considering how good they
underdog
are,
and
yeah, it's
running
crazy.
through.
But you have to figure they'll probably move up to sixth, which won't really matter too much. They're going to go on the road regardless to start their playoffs. Speaking of a team that won't start their playoffs on the road, the Chicago Bears. How about the year that these Bears are having, man? If they win this game against the Lions, they lock up the 2 seed. Even if they lose, they can still end up the 2 seed if the Eagles lose as well. But if they lose and the Eagles win, they drop to the 3. Eagles go up to 2. So Bears have something to play for. I'm really hoping for a favor from your Lions.
Well, like I said, I don't know if I'd hold your breath. The Bears are a much different team than when we played them in week two.
True. Yeah.
Obviously, we know Ben Johnson and his offense quite well, and Calvin Shepard's going to have some tricks up his sleeves, but it's pretty baffling to me at how well these Bears have been playing this year, especially with all the injuries that they've had. Like Lions and Bears are actually top two teams in games missed for injuries, and
Yeah.
it just tail two seasons, right? The Bears are crushing, the Lions not so much. So good for the Bears, but yeah, they win. They lock up the number 2 seed, steal it away from your boys there. Um, Basically, all you can really do is flip one spot, right? So
Yeah. Eagles
um,
are guaranteed 2 or 3. So if the Commanders are coming in, should be a win. But the Eagles are kind of playing their cards close to their vest. They haven't really said whether or not they're going to play the starters yet. I hope they do, at least until halftime. Right? Play the starters. Keep an eye on the Chicago game. If the Bears are up big or something, then you just pull your starters. Right?
yep.
But if the Bears are losing to the Lions, then obviously you've got incentive to win that game and get that 2 seed because you want to probably play the Packers first round instead of like the Niners or Rams. I think anyway.
I think it depends on who you are. If you're the Bears, you probably don't want to play the Packers just because it's a divisional game, right? And
Yeah,
it can go
maybe
either
they'll lose
way.
on purpose then.
Right. But isn't this weird? Like this is kind of like the first year that in a while that all the games aren't starting at 1 o'clock.
So there's like 5 or 6 that start at 1, and then there's like 7 games that start at 4:25.
So yeah, I think it's all the games that actually matter for something start at 4:25 because like yeah, Eagles Commanders are at 4:25 and so is the Lions
Yeah, they
Bears.
start
So
all these games at the same time because you don't want to tip your hand, right? If you go in knowing that Chicago's already won, yeah, you
yeah,
can rest your starters, and they want most of these games to be competitive, so they start all these games at the same time that have these implications. That way, you've got to pretty much play your starters until you see at halftime, oh shit, Chicago's up by 3 scores. All right, we'll yank Jalen Hurts and the offense out, but.
right. Yeah.
Um, Chargers and Broncos. The Broncos still in the driver's seat for that number 1 seed in the AFC. The Chargers, with their loss last weekend, took themselves out of the running for that. But um, yeah, they've just decided at this point. Obviously, Herbert nursing that injury to his non-throwing hand, but it's severe enough that they want to give him that week to rest. So they're just going to sit him.
Yep.
Chargers will probably fall to the 7 seed. Broncos will probably pretty easily lock up the 1 seed. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it just goes to show you. I mean, as long as you're in, I don't think it really matters to these teams where they have to go play.
yeah. No matter
But
what, you're playing a playoff team. It's going to be a tough game, no matter what, right?
yeah, if you're the Chargers, you want Herbert to be as healthy as possible, right? So if
Yeah.
you're throwing him out there in a meaningless game against the Broncos,
Yeah.
what's the point? Because the Broncos will be taking some shots in there if they can, because they got a lot to play for, right? So
That's it.
nice.
Couple other games with implications here. Cards and Rams. Rams, they can only finish fifth or sixth now. They can't move up and win the division. So, I mean, if they win and the Niners lose, Rams go to fifth, Niners go to sixth. But if they win, it doesn't matter if they win or lose. If the Seahawks lose, Seahawks fall to fifth, Rams fall to sixth, regardless. Dolphins, Patriots. Patriots obviously still in the running for the number 1 seed. If they win and the Broncos lose, stay with us. The Patriots move up to the number 1 seed. The Broncos fall to 2, maybe even 3 if the Jags win, because the Jags have the tiebreaker over the Broncos. It's crazy. We got a lot to figure out. We'll be here to unpack it, obviously, next week. But
Feel like
yeah,
Charlie from It's Always Sunny with the
with the
graph.
board and like trying to, yeah, it's wild. So many games have so many implications. No one knows who they're playing yet.
Right.
So week 18 is going to be wild.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, speaking of wild, right? This NFC West division all year, like obviously easily the top three teams pretty much
Yeah,
in the conference in this division this year. And it's crazy that you could go from finishing one to five or six
yeah,
and it's locked in. Like that whole division's either one, five, or six. Doesn't matter.
yeah, exactly.
And so I mean, the Rams should have a fairly easy matchup, right, against the Cards, you would think.
Yeah, I mean they should have won this past week against the Falcons, and then it would have potentially been three teams in one division to all finish with 13 plus wins, which would have been absolutely crazy. I don't think that's ever been done.
No.
But as it stands right now, the Rams can get to 12 wins. They should be able to. Cards are trash. So yeah, three teams with 12 plus wins. That NFC West is just dominating the NFC playoff picture.
So tell me, because I know you want a favor from the Lions. Don't think
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
probably not.
Who'd you rather face out of those three teams?
Rams, Seahawks, or Niners?
Yeah,
Uh,
you're getting one of them.
yeah. So here, well, we might get the Packers if we finish two, but yeah, you're right. If the Lions don't do us any favors, I think we've already beaten the Rams this year. So it's kind of like the devil you know versus the devil you don't. I don't know what to expect out of the Niners. I think I'd rather face the Rams just because it's a what have you done for me lately league, and the Rams are kind of scuffling to the finish line a little bit. The fact that they've sort of been the weakest of the three over the last couple weeks, I think gives them the edge. That's who I guess I want to face.
Is it just a ploy? Maybe they
Maybe.
want the Eagles. They're like,
Yeah, maybe.
these guys only know how to play one half of football.
Revenge game. Yeah,
Give me those guys.
I don't blame them if that's their mentality. It's fucking true. The Eagles play one half of football, so
Man, we had a wild game between you two last year, so I mean, it'd be kind of neat to see what happens there. But
Saquon put on a little show last year, but he's having a much different year this year. So
much different year.
yeah,
So speaking of a much different year, right? These Patriots, and like we talked about earlier, lots of controversy going on with them. Probably going to be down their number one receiver. But when you got a run game like they've got, and you got Drake May at the helm, does it even really matter?
probably not. No.
And you're facing a team that you know quite well in the Dolphins. It's at home.
Yeah.
Pats get this win. They're number one in the AFC.
Yeah,
Who would
as
have
long as the
thought?
Broncos lose. Yeah.
As long as the Broncos lose.
Yeah.
But who would have thought?
Who would have thought? No one coming into this year would have thought that the Patriots would have a shot at the number one seed. That's crazy. It's been a
I'm,
wild year, dude.
I'm going to tell you this right now, though. If Vrabel walks into that building wearing one of those patterned shirts, it's over. It's over.
It's over.
You know, he
Patriots are
spent a
going to win
lot of
by
money
five
on that
scores.
highly complicated pattern.
It's a nice shirt, dude. Like I want to find out. I want to find out where I can get that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think you know, but you might have to fight some people in the store.
Might have to. Yeah. Everyone fighting for that for those designs. Cutting
Uh,
edge, buddy. Cutting edge.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of fights, let's move on to our locks and dogs. And we've been going back and forth all year, and
Fuck
the
yeah.
Rams have fucked me multiple times.
Yeah,
My
they did.
Lions screwed me too. Have you passed me in week 17 on the lock record, 14-3? Ugh,
Been leading all year in the dogs, and now I am in first place in the locks. Fuck yeah, dude.
makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh, those Rams, they
Ugh.
blew it for you. So your locks record falls to 13-4. The Rams blowing it at home to the Falcons. So you got to redeem yourself. You got to finish strong, trying to get to 14-4. Who is your lock of the week
You
this
know
week?
what though? 13-4 is still highly respectable.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
I'm gonna take a page out of your book. I'm taking the Jags versus the Titans.
That's my team.
Little layup pick here to end in week 18.
Might as well. Yeah.
I almost said to you we should not have to pick any of these like easy ones and make it interesting, but
Yeah, you can't be favored by more than like 4 or 5 points.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
See. But yes, I will take the Jags over the Titans. Last week, you took the Patriots. They got a big win for you. You said move you to 14-3. What are you
The
gonna go with this week?
Patriots are chugging right now. Absolute wagon. They destroyed the Jets. I think they're going to do the same to their division rival Dolphins. I think give me the Patriots to go to what would that make them 13-4 or 14-3? I think they're 14. I think they'd be 14. Yeah, they're 13. They'd be 14-3. I would go to 15-3 with my locks record. I am on top with the locks. Oh man, if I can get to 15 wins, that'd be great. Give me the Patriots over the Dolphins.
Ooh, spicy,
Yeah.
spicy. Well, dogs, you've been crushing me all year. 13-4, very good record for picking the underdogs all year. I don't know how you've done it.
Can we
Um,
just talk for a minute about this?
well,
13 and
actually,
4.
I know how you did it. Somehow you're taking the first place teams in their division that are somehow underdogs.
Can we just talk about how impressive for a second
No, we
13 and
cannot.
4 of a dog's record is, man? I've had a year. And
Yeah,
like some of my predictions, like the Panthers winning the division. I think there was another one too. Actually, I think I picked the Jags to win the AFC South, didn't I? Anyway,
I think you did.
yeah.
Man,
Anyway,
must be because I had a kid. My brain's just shot this year and can't do anything because normally it's me with all these
for next
predictions.
week, I'm going to look back on our very first episode this year and pull our predictions
That's fair.
for next week so we can talk about it and see who was right and who was wrong. And but 13 and 4 dogs record, man. Come on. So I got a
Okay,
chance to go to
let's
14 and
move on.
4
Come on.
with my dogs. I picked the Texans last week. They got it done. I'm taking your Lions because I need a favor from them. The Lions get it done over the Bears, buddy.
I mean, it would make me happy if the Lions win, just to finish out the year on a high note. But I mean,
Finish with a winning record as opposed to a losing record.
that Bears team's pretty good right now. So
They are. So your Ravens, you picked the Ravens last week. They crushed. Your dog record goes to 7 and 10, getting it to be a lot more respectable. I think you're on like a 3-week win streak now, right?
streaking,
Streaking. So who are you
going to the
going to
quad.
finish the year?
Well, hopefully I can move to 8 and 10. I'm going to take the Browns on the road
Okay.
versus
Okay.
the Bengals because I don't think the Bengals can stop anything. And Shadur's actually playing pretty decent. And I have a feeling that Joe Burrow is going to be running for his life in this one with Myles Garrett on the hunt for his sack record.
I don't
And you
know,
know he
man.
doesn't
Have you
want to just
seen
get
what
one.
Burrow's done the last couple weeks? Now that they're out of the playoff picture, he's just slinging it, man.
Yeah, that's
Destroyed the Dolphins last week.
right. But I don't think that offensive line is going to be able to keep up with Myles Garrett.
That's fair.
That dude wants that record. And you know he's not going to settle with just one.
That's fair.
He wants to smash that record.
You
So
want to set the record, something unattainable for future guys, right? So yeah, get like 3 or 4 sacks this game and really jump that number up. I get it. Yeah.
if that offensive line didn't make Burrow want to quit before, it just might after this game.
Yeah, if there's a game to break the record, this is it. This is a Swiss cheese offensive line. So go for it, Myles Garrett. That's a solid pick, buddy.
Absolutely. Well, Bralvonians, it all comes down to this week 18, some final spots up for
Oh
grabs.
yeah.
Rest of us, nothing to cheer for, but that's okay. Like I said, if you're big fans like we are, you can watch any team and be just as happy watching football. One thing for sure is this playoff is going to be super interesting.
Yeah.
I think we'd be remiss to not say Happy New Year to all of you. Again, if you've been with us since the start, super appreciative of you. Go have some fun tonight. It is New Year's when we're recording this, New Year's Eve. Please don't drink and drive. Be responsible because we need those views for next week. So
That's
please
it.
come back.
If you're dead, it's confirmed. If you're dead, you can't watch our future episodes. So please don't be dead. Happy New Year. There's what? What are we? It's almost 5 o'clock here on New Year's Eve. So we got about 7 hours and change left in 2025, buddy. Pretty good year,
Lots of time
all
to
told.
fuck up the year.
Definitely tons of time to fuck shit up. But pretty good year all told. You welcomed your first son into the world.
Uh-huh.
You know, not much else
Still
happened for
doesn't
me, but
Trump Lions missing the playoffs.
just still, yeah. That's the top of the priority list. Lions missing the playoffs, and then
Yeah.
Calvo had a son.
Yeah,
Kind of important, I guess. Everything else
I
kind of
guess.
falls in under that. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely, man. Well, like I said, lots of things to be thankful for. We
Yes,
get to do
sir.
this podcast every week. We're in relatively good health, even though I've been hacking my brains out this entire episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, all I can say is be kind to one another. Moving into 2026, find some way to grow. I know we joke about not having resolutions and all those things, but I think if you get just a little bit better each day, right? Just like those football
hmm
coaches say, just get a little bit better each day. 2026 is going to be a hell of a year.
Read something, learn something, try and looking at something from a different perspective, different point of view. Try putting yourself in someone else's shoes for a change and kind of see what they deal with on a daily basis. And yeah, just be good to people. Be kind. It's not fucking hard.
I will
Be a
say I
good
tried
person.
putting myself in somebody else's shoes for one episode and I hated every fucking second of my life.
I will say you've never looked better. Honestly, that was
Well, thanks,
like
man.
the pod that week just looked phenomenal. So,
That's fair. That's fair.
all right,
All
buddy,
right,
you
man.
want to wrap us up?
Yeah, let's go. So again, thank you so much for listening. We hope you've enjoyed the content.
Find us on our socials.
Find us on our socials. If you like the intro music, follow the Synopsis the Synopsis band page as well. For Brooksee, I'm Calvo. Have a safe and happy new year. We'll see you next week when we get to talk about who's in the playoffs, who's not. See you
Yeah.
next week.
See you next year.
See you next year.
Woo.